Welcome back to Frostpunk. In the last episode we managed to weather off, pun intended, the second storm, and we also did finish quite a bit of research, which means that we're now running the generator at a range setting of 4, and that led to a steam hub grid redesign. So the only issue I have with that redesign, of course, being that I would have liked the steam hubs to be one further out, also on the industrial section here. But since that is not an option if I want things to be uniform in that section, it'll just have to be the way it is. It might change in the future. Also, these steam sawmills have finished processing the wood in their vicinity, so we have dismantled them, or at least ordered their dismantling. So it's time to get rid of this. We need a steam sawmill. That looks like it would cover all of it. It will also give us access to the perfect, I can build it there. It would give us access to the wall drill site here. Now let's build a quick road down there, and we might just as well build the road down there as well. Since I built 2 of them, we should build a steam hub out here. And of course we need to we need to build a shrine to increase their efficiency. And that's out of the way. Very good. There is the matter of the trees over here as well. And then of course there is the matter of me wanting to skip these one down. I wonder if I could do that by just building a lot of them here. We need to be wary of our steel use though, because we got that cold furnaces hazard, which is, to put it frankly, nasty. Okay, if we build 3 of them on this side, and we build 3 of them on this side, we have spent a great deal of steel on that, but I'm not too concerned with that. We are still making steel, albeit very, very slowly now. How much are we making per day? 182. 50% efficiency. It's not completely bad, I suppose. But of course it is a lot worse than what it would have been. But no matter. Can we do any of these? Yes, we can. I'm guessing the Faith Keepers are not ready yet. I wish we could get more scout teams as well. Being able, I don't really see the reason why we can't build another beacon, except of course for game logic. I'm guessing game logic is a reason good enough. Let's finish all of them before I do anything. This should be put to be 8 to 18. Scouts have reached the Eye's Jaws, which is another exploration point. Sites discovered the rocky slope and the snow-covered supplies. Let's go to the snow-covered supplies, which is a series of small, barely visible mounds with a strikingly regular shape. Crates, probably. Sounds good. We need workers in here. I'll use engineers, since we seem to have an excess of those. One hungry, I'm... Oh, activity eating. Good. I wouldn't have been surprised if that was one of the scouts. Seems to do that sometimes. We have developed them up to settlement development level 5. Scouts have reached the buried dreadnought. The wreck is firmly encased in ice. We won't know what lies within it until we enter it. There is a relic to acquire here. A deserted treasury. This dreadnought is almost undamaged. It seems that it was abandoned with very little fuel in the tanks. The toxic hazard is relatively minor. Still, we had better dismantle parts of the hull in a few places to access all of the decks. This can easily be done. Can also try to explore the interior, skipping any preparation, but it might be risky. Yeah, let's spend the wood and steel to explore this safely. Our scouts took the time and effort to explore the wreck safely, and they are headed back home with a relic. The lamp. Okay. It's a funky name for a relic. Here we go. Let's put some engineers in there as well. Okay, so we have 4 of these done. So this one is wood. Dismantle. This one is food rations. Dismantle. This one is coal. Dismantle. And this one is wood. Dismantle. Now I don't think we can fit 4 of them together with these 2, so this one is coal. Dismantle. And then we just have to wait for this one to finish, and we will put that to be coal as well. Medical automaton integration researched. That means we're done with that. Let's get the wall drill research done then. Why is this at 84% efficiency? Okay, someone is out dismantling. That's fine. We might just as well build road on the back side of these. Not sure how useful or necessary the road in the front side is, but we'll build roads between every second of them anyways. I'm wondering if we should perhaps make some new flying hunters. Okay, steam wall drill done. Let's get the advanced wall drill, and we've also reached the lone automaton. The automaton seems to have suffered a serious malfunction. We might be able to salvage something from it at least. What happened there? Broken beyond repair. This automaton carried some cargo with it, but nothing that would allow us to fix it. We had to partially dismantle it to get to the valuable parts. So we found another buried dreadnought. Good. Lying rock buried dreadnought. 4 steam cores, some coal and some steel. Let's go to the buried dreadnought and find another relic then. I have read this before, so I'll not read that. I've read that before as well, so another Hulk sighted. Getting well, that's good that you get more relics. Maybe you get 1 more relic per storm. Let's see if we find a 3rd one. We can speed this up though. Probably complaining about long hours. Go away. Eventually I will shut down the long hours, but not yet. This one is getting close. 1500. Okay, let's build another steam sawmill. Here, methinks, and we'll build a road there. This is a shrine, so we can then build a steam hub there. The temperature out there okay? Yes, yes it is. Oh, that doesn't need to be on. Also, I don't think that needs to be on at all, because this one should be covered by that one now. And the administration is irrelevant in terms of temperature, so we can actually just tear this down. Can I? Thank you. Advanced wall drill has been researched. We have 4 technologies left, I think. Hunter's tactics, or hunting tactics, and the charcoal kiln. I believe we have everything else. Let's get the hunting tactics, just because. I'm going to have a lot of engineers in excess when we're done. Scouts have reached the snow-covered supplies, and we're done out here. Before we do the scouts, let's remove this bit of road, like so. We do have a lot of steel. And the bad thing about having built those here is I haven't taken the beacon into account. So thick line, oh, sorry. Thick line there, thick line there, 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 uh-huh, uh-huh. And the thick line almost disappears, so it's very difficult for me to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. These guys have reached the snow-covered supplies. The snow covering the crates is deep, but we are sure that there are some valuable supplies buried down there. Search might provide raw food. Precious supplies. Under the snow, we uncovered many crates full of supplies. There is no telling who might have left them here. 49 raw food. Let's go over to the rocky slope then. What was that? A dark spot of bare rock distinctly visible from afar. That sounds like an exploration point if I've ever heard of one. We can do a nighttime procession. That's good. And they have returned with a lamp and some wood and some steel. Let's send them out again. Going to the children's mine probably isn't a bad idea. That's 16 hours. That's 24 hours. This is a shipwreck camp. that'll take 1 day, 13 hours. I would like to discover the children's mine, so let's go to the Buried Dreadnought. I doubt that it'll take 8 hours to go from there to there, so... we have reached the Buried Dreadnought. There's a relic in here. We've read this before, so we have to pay the same, 100 wood and 50 steel to explore it safely. And deserted treasury. And here we got on bunkhouses. Okay. Okay, the lamp. A fragment of the patent description for the lamp, attached to a service manual. It was found inside a fireproof locker in the Dreadnought's library. Found on day 33, the lamp. Life-saving equipment. Something. Of biggest concern is the ability to manufacture the device described in this patent in large numbers while meeting a very strict timeline and, most importantly, to continue manufacturing on site where proper workshop tools and supplies might not be readily available. The device affords the user a source of light and heat and a means to sound a distress signal. As such, it is considered vital for survival, as its malfunction in typical operating conditions is essentially a death sentence. Therefore, it is necessary to provide maintenance training for every engineer assigned to the expedition and to equip every dreadnought with a set of blueprints and operation manuals. So that's all the text that is on this one. Interesting. I wonder if there's some part of a story attached to those relics. Ah, Shipwreck Camp is one of the settlements. We should go there too. Of course, it's the guys that I had the Scottish accent, or semi-Scottish accent, on in the on the Edge scenario playthrough. "12 days until the next storm. I hope we'll find more than 7 steam cores though. Okay, until we have this area cleared, I don't really want to do too much with these, but we can. Let's dismantle this and put this to steel. This one is wood. These things do not build very quickly, do they? Dismantle. We have these small resource depots. I don't think I want them. At least not yet. You might want to build them behind the larger ones. Okay, so it's getting colder. Just checking this. Let's pause the game while we do that. Okay. No, they haven't started work yet, so I don't know what the temperature is. Turn off that. This one should be set to 8 to 18. This one too, I mean, the child shelters here are not at all in a good position. These should be moved. Because this steam hub here does not need to be turned on 24/7. But we'll look at that afterwards. We have reached the rocky slope. As we approach the slope, we notice some shapes covered in wood. In wood? Huh? Okay, in snow. Let's hope these are not bodies. Abandoned supplies. We found no bodies, but some people must have been here. They left crates and bags of valuable supplies behind. Sites discovered, fissured rock, and another buried dreadnought. Some coal and some raw meat. Let's go to the fissured rock first. That looks like an exploration point though, so let's go to the buried dreadnought then. Okay, we have 3 of these. Blah blah blah. So, food rations, coal and wood. The final one is food rations. Hunting tactics researched. Charcoal kiln. There we go, we have to check. Okay, so there is absolutely no issues whatsoever with any of our buildings in terms of heat. That soup kitchen, on the other hand, we can probably take the people out of that. They're spending 14 per day. Yeah, we don't need these guys now. Ah, this place needs workers. Charcoal kiln researched. Let's get the charcoal kiln thermostat. The charcoal kiln. That building, when I've used it, I will have to admit that I'm not impressed. We have reached the buried dreadnought. Let's go over to the children's mine. Actually, it would have been quicker to just go directly there. That's... I wish there was some way to calculate that so I could see that in advance. But it's no matter, it's 2 hours, it's fine. We've already explored quite a number of points and we have 11 days left until the storm, so I think we should be very, very comfortably within safety limitations here. We're full on coal. We're also full on wood. That's not ideal. We can build a few of these smaller ones behind here. I don't want to build anything on top of the... don't want to destroy the resources. Not that we need the wood particularly, but I could follow this and build one here. Nah, it's not that important. We get these done, that should suffice. A road like that and like that. Trade for food. Yeah, no. Charcoal kiln thermostat research. Then we have the charcoal kiln bellows. Use coal 33% faster. And after that, we have a lot of buildings to tear down. This one is resolving in 3 days. Not that we're suffering anything when it comes to our steel. I think we'll put all of these on wood so that we can continue our wood excavations. Scout unit number 28 number 28. Oh, okay. Have returned safely to the city. We have some coal, some wood, 7 steam cores and 76 steel. Let's send these guys out again, and I'll just send them to the Shipwreck Camp. 13 hours, 1 day, 2 hours. I can't see that. Yeah, I'm thinking 13 hours is... 13 hours, 12. It would have to be another 13 hours to go there for this not to be a good idea. But I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. Scouts have reached the buried dreadnought. Now we know what this will say, so we will explore it safely and take the relic with us home. And now we're getting the first flying hunter. Which reminds me, didn't we get another relic? We did, on bunkhouses. A fragment of a Royal Society member's diary where she's reminiscing on her work in the Arctic Housing Committee, reviewing designs of modern and efficient Arctic housing. That doesn't exactly look like the houses we have, but then again, this is a bunkhouse. On bunkhouses. Home is where the heat is. Snow huts were deemed beneath the dignity of the English people. Well, of course. And they were also impractical, as they tended to melt in livable temperatures. That's also a good point. The chair was pushing his London house, designed to remind people of the streets of our capital. But I knew that they wouldn't have the means to build the kind of housing Sir Edmund considered adequate. A much more practical, if ugly, sheet metal hut designed by Jenkins also brought London to mind, just its less fancy districts. I added more insulation and dropped the triple bunks at the advice of Admiral McClintock, whose people built snow huts to escape the confines of their ship during their wintering in the Arctic. Then I forged Sir Edmund's signature, and the bunkhouse was born. Interesting. We've reached the children's mine. This mine was far from depleted when we last sent people into it. The smoke is coming from its stacks. Apparently people are living here. Children of mine. We go inside. It turns out that the mining corridors reaching deep under the permafrost give shelter to dozens of children accompanied by a handful of old and frail people. The mining machines broke down long ago. Now the coal is being extracted by kids, whose small stature allows them to traverse the tunnels easily. The children are proud that they managed on their own, and reject our suggestion to move. They gave us some coal as a gesture of goodwill, and are eager to trade more in exchange for improving their living conditions and developing their settlement. We will support them, and they gave us 300 coal. There is a landmark out there, so let's go down to the ice boat. And we also need to go to the transport depot and create another construction team and send that out to the children's mine. Because currently I don't think we can do anything with them. No. Okay, so we have 7 steam cores. I want to keep 1 for a factory, but we can do all of these. We can give them... Yeah, that doesn't seem too good. New pumps. And a borehole. And we don't have enough steel to do anything else. I'd like to keep some steel for ourselves. Although we are getting a lot back from that. Yeah, let's send the wall drill shipment as well. 6 people are hungry. Why is this complaining about being too cold? There's no workers there anyways, so... Okay, all of these, we are going to set them to contain wood. There we go. Four days worth of coal, that's good. This one should finish very, very shortly. Charcoal kiln bellows researched, and I believe that would be the final technology we can research. Indeed so. There is nothing left to research. Means that we have a little bit of dismantling to do here, and then a little bit of rearranging to do afterwards. There we go. I hope this thing isn't going to blink. And done. This one is done. Let's send that out to the ruined hut. Now I need to look at this rather carefully. I don't think there's anything we have that can fit in there. Can we fit a small square? We can. Does that mean we can fit a small garden? I think we're going to go with a small square there. And I also think that we can build a couple more infirmaries. Okay, so we can fit 4 infirmaries here, which means we will have room for 80 patients. That does spend all of our steam cores, though. I think that's a bit excessive. How big is the factory? The same size. If we build a factory, I don't think we need more than one. So we have room for 2 more infirmaries here, which will bring us to 60 patients. We haven't had any sick in a very long time, though. But it's still good to have the option. We have reached the empty shelter, which is an explored waypoint. Let's go down to the Shipwreck Camp. This one is done, so we can be dismantled. We'll leave this here until this one is done as well. Shouldn't take too long. This down here needs to be removed before we can remove it. We have reached the children's mine, so let's build a trading depot. And communicate with them. Thank you for establishing the trading depot. Now we will be able to help each other. We can probably ask them for things like steel, losing favor. How can we help you? So they need us to patch their temporary shelters and someone to help with work. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Complaining about long hours? Thought as much. Watch me ignore that. Can do evening prayers. And a sermon. Yeah, that's something that we need to do. We need to clear up these roads. There's a crisscross zigzag network of lots of unnecessary roads. There we go. We need some workers in here. And I think we will produce 50 prostheses. We have also reached the Shipwreck Camp. We reached the settlement built around the shipwreck. We guess that before the arrival of Frost, there must have been a sea here. The settlement is populous, but its inhabitants meet us with distrust, even hostility. No kings, only men. Convicts were widely used on Frostland to build generators, deceived by false promises of amnesty and return home. Most of them were worked to death, carried on prison ships from one construction site to another. But those we met here have rebelled. They killed their guards, took over the ship and set up their own settlement away from London's power. The hull of the ship, heated by steam boilers, protected them from the storms. They gave us some wood and steel as a gesture of goodwill and are eager to trade more in exchange for improving their living conditions and developing their settlements. 100 wood and 50 steel. It's great news. And we can move on to the yellow flag. We can see a strange mound with a small yellow flag on top. Definitely man-made. Now we need to go back to the city and we need to form another construction team and send that out to the Shipwreck Camp. There hasn't been much building except for the resource depots in this and the last episode, so the city really hasn't changed all that much now. So we've sent the shipments to the children's mine. Do they need anything else? They need more helping hands. We can send them that. Would you guys send us steel? No, you will send us workers, but not steel. How about you guys? Would you send us steel? Yeah, the favor will fall, but let's ask for that. We had low favor, but that's fine. And it's a new day, so I think that this is a good spot to end this episode so that it doesn't turn into one of those very long ones. So for now, thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will be seeing you in the next one.